back again. And I just deafened everybody. I am sorry about that.
No, you did. Your mic went way down for some reason. Like it got you to like enveloped you. It's just
Guys, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Both of you. All right, so it's Thursday night. It's Thanksgiving, and it's time for three old men to digest live on stream. I am one of your co-hosts, Clan Diesel. Off to my side, the beautiful, the talented Dr. Diz DM. What up, Diz? And the one, the only, the Admiral, Double Outback. Dark.
Hello.
Buck is an extremely festive mood, Chad. You just can't tell.
He's had too much turkey.
He's wearing his special Thanksgiving thongs. You just can't see them.
I ate at like 2:30 this afternoon, and I have not ate anything since.
It just says gobble this.
It says this. I don't know it says gobble this. He's ready to butter your bread.
It's all right, Chad. They're about to get a very festive DM.
And so, listen, if you do, I'm opening up you an OnlyFans and I'm selling that pig. I'm keeping all the money.
Hey, it's gonna have my picture in it, so when you do it, they'll know it ain't you.
Funny story. This was a real conversation had around my Thanksgiving Day table. I was told that if I helped someone set up an OnlyFans, they would give me a cut of the money.
And you turned it down?
No, I said sure. I don't know. Listen, I got kids.
So
I could improve the stream a lot.
So hearing that, here was the notes for what we were going to talk about. Let's just get rid of those. Now let's talk more about this.
Okay. Listen, I'm just telling you. Normally at my house, there's awkward conversations or there's a fight. And we've been running low on fights the last couple of years. However, awkward conversations, we're still king.
Everybody getting out of shape or something? Just
it's just it's just what happens. Y'all don't have conversations like that at your Thanksgiving Day feast.
I'm usually the one that starts the awkward conversation just to see who can get the most uncomfortable.
There you go. See, I think they thought that I would get uncomfortable. And I'll be like, no, I'm not going to help you do that. But then I said, yes. Because the economy, chat.
I mean, to be fair, though, I was a submariner. We don't have shame.
Listen, what you do in the torpedo room stays in the torpedo room.
I mean, what you do on the submarine stays on the submarine. It's all top secret and classified. We can't talk about it.
Top secret, hushy, hushy.
And I'm really just a naval AI chat. In case you didn't know.
The hologram. That's why it fades in and out sometimes.
That's true. That's true. Like Jim and the holograms. I think Buck's got really cool earrings that he touches, and then he turns into this Buck.
I couldn't see Buck with wearing earrings, but
you know what? Me either. Me either.
It's a Prince Albert, in case you really want to know.
Damn, that's hardcore.
Star shape though, still.
Damn.
Actually,
that's gonna be difficult.
If you really want to know, Diz, it's more like a mace.
See, I was going to say dolphin.
No, because if it's too odd shaped, then it gets hung up in places.
And with that, what were some of those notes, Diz?
Let me go get that. So, it's Thanksgiving today. I don't know if you knew that.
I do know that because I have ate a lot today. It is Thanksgiving in the U.S. Feliz Navi Turkey. Thanks the way they say it in Spanish.
Gracias giving.
Yep.
Is that what it is?
Gracias giving.
So I don't know. I don't know the Spanish word for giving, so I'd have to Google that one.
Me either.
We never went over that in the 4
We
years
did not.
Spanish class.
We did not. Can somebody get the ghost of Miss Bettencourt on the phone?
Oh my god. Oh.
Shout out Miss Bettencourt, wherever you are. Hey, actually, she dead. She confirmed dead.
Nope.
Yep. You know what? Now you got me. Now you got me curious. How do you say Thanksgiving in Spanish? It was one of the most biggest things on Google. Let me see the pronunciation here. Acción de Gracias. That is Thanksgiving.
There you go.
There you go. Guess what? We all learned something today, chat. See, we're not just entertainment. We're edutainment, like Carmen Sandiego. Now we just need our own game. Where in the world is Three Old Men?
I think I don't know if we did this on retro or if we did this on Three Old Men last week. I think we talked about the favorite foods or something like that for Thanksgiving. We already kind of went over that. Yeah, maybe on retro. I can't remember when it was.
We did talk about it at some point. I don't know if it's
Three Old
Men.
What about desserts? I mean, did anybody have any desserts? I know Buck is a real big fan of chocolate. That's what he's told me, right? No, not chocolate. Opposite of chocolate. What's the opposite of chocolate?
What is the opposite of chocolate?
Is it white chocolate?
Peanut butter.
Butterscotch.
Butterscotch. Yes.
Fuck off with that. No wonder butterscotch is evil. It is the antithesis of everything good.
But I really like
Scotch.
I would say vanilla is probably the opposite of chocolate.
Probably. It is at least 1/3 of the Neapolitan color wheel.
You usually when you're in a place with ice cream, chocolate and vanilla are usually served as your main two choices.
Question: building on the Neapolitan ice cream being three things joined together and stuff, is Neapolitan ice cream the Megazord of ice creams, or the Voltron, if you will?
Well, don't you need 5 ice creams to form the ice cream?
If you go strictly Voltron, yes. If you go Megazord, not.
So then, if you did that, you would have to throw in probably what? Mint chocolate chip and
no. Why would you do mint chocolate chip on anything?
And butterscotch.
Those are all horrible ideas.
No,
I mean,
butterscotch.
You got 2/3 of the taste.
Butter pecan, right? Butter pecan, probably.
Now I am a little bit of an old man because I do love butter pecan ice cream.
So you take the mint chocolate chip out and replace it with butter pecan, and then put your butterscotch in there, and then you got it made.
No. Really, if you were going to do big popular things of ice cream, right, you would have to put in like vanilla, the classic Neapolitan, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and then probably like butter pecan, probably, because there's a lot of old people that eat ice cream.
Now you keep saying vanilla now, but are you talking about vanilla bean? Are you talking about French vanilla?
I'm talking about regular USDA approved homogenized vanilla, not Blanche vanilla, not the vanilla bean. No, just regular vanilla, the whitest white in the world. Just regular vanilla. I do like vanilla.
What about snow cream?
No, I say I'm
That's
old
pretty white
because I like butter
I thought it was pretty white too. I thought it was whiter than vanilla ice cream.
Well, I am old because I'm old. Yes, I am. But and then you probably go after butter pecan, probably something like Rocky Road.
And I feel like that was around a lot sooner than ice cream was.
What?
Snow cream.
Maybe, I don't know.
I feel like it's been around a lot longer than any of them.
Do you know why ice cream became so popular, especially for Americans? This is a true story, Chad. I'm getting ready to learnificate your asses.
Why it became so popular with Americans.
With Americans, yes, particularly.
Because
let's see if you get it. Chat, you can play along if you want to take a guess. Put it in chat. Those of you on YouTube, you can also put it in the notes, and we'll tell you whether you got it right or not. Do you know why ice cream became so popular with Americans, particularly Americans?
Because they were selling it during the wartime.
Almost. It's because prohibition.
Oh, well, yeah.
In the 1920s, when they outlawed alcohol, bars converted to ice cream parlors. And it became so popular that during World War II, the United States government had to commission naval ships that were nothing but floating ice cream makers during World War II because the troops requested ice cream as part of their rations and stuff. So they built like at least 3 big, huge ships that were nothing but freezers to hold ice cream for the troops during World War II. And there you go. And now you know the rest of the story. This is Clan Diesel. Good day. No, it's not the one Forrest Gump was on. Forrest Gump got ice cream because he was in the hospital because he got shot in the ass.
Because I got shot in the buttocks.
He wasn't jumped up and bit me. 30 years too late. You're like 20, 30 years too late for Forrest Gump. Well, I mean, for World War II.
Yeah, I like that one scene where Bubba's going through all the shrimp things, and he's like, shrimp cocktail, shrimp butterscotch, shrimp ice cream.
There you go. It's 2 great flavors that go great together. Shrimp and butterscotch.
How about shrimp and scotch?
Ooh. I mean, if you got a stomach,
I can handle it.
You can definitely try it. Like Matt Mercer, that thing. You can certainly try.
I almost thought you were going to say Matthew McConaughey there. but
all right.
Now, you know what's in my head? I see Matthew McConaughey sitting there DMing for Critical Role.
I would watch that.
That would be
an episode
crazy.
of Critical Role where Matt Mercer does his best Matthew McConaughey the entire time.
I'd watch it, yeah, for sure.
I'd watch it too. Definitely. That'd work.
So we started this desserts. Do you have a favorite dessert?
Well, I'll tell you what my favorite dessert was this round of Thanksgiving, this year's Thanksgiving at the Clan Diesel household. My favorite dessert this year was pumpkin cake.
Ooh, I thought you were gonna say Jello shots, but pumpkin cake, yeah, that sounds good.
There was no Jello shots had at the house this year. There was some people that drank some hard cider, but there was no Jello shots.
So
was there Jello shots at yours?
I mean, just at the beginning and at the end. I mean, not in the middle, really.
Hey, the turkey's coming out! Shots!
No, nothing that fun. So you said pumpkin
cake.
Cake.
Yep. It's like a
pumpkin spice cake,
but it's pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
And then it's got a cream cheese frosting, and it was very good.
That sounds good. Yep. Sounds really sweet.
Actually, not as sweet as you think it would. It was not as sweet as you think it would be.
Offset the cream cheese, so
I guess, but it was very good. I highly recommend it. Although a close second was the cheesecake that I made.
It turned out. I saw a picture of that.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good. Yep. No, even if I did make it, turned out pretty good. What about you? What's your dessert of choice?
My go-to is Derby pie, which is just basically like cookie pie. It's like a pie, but it's cookie. It's like chocolate chips and walnuts and just a big cookie.
I have had your wife's Derby pie. It is very good. It's really good, yeah. But I can only eat a little bit of it because it is very, very sweet.
Yeah, I like it with some vanilla ice cream.
Most pies and cakes are just better with vanilla ice cream. I'm just going to say that right now. Especially if like the cake or the pie is hot and then you get the cold vanilla ice cream. It's very good.
I mean, I always thought you had to go with French vanilla because it's a la mode. So,
I mean, it would make sense, right? Because a la mode is French. Or on the mode.
I just figured mode was French for ice cream or something.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't take French.
All right, Buck, what do you got? You like desserts?
I do, but mine died with my grandmother.
Your favorite?
Yeah. It was a banana cake.
That sounds amazing.
So she took yellow cake mix and she made the cake, and then she put sliced bananas, and then she would take confectioner sugar and turn it into the icing, like powdered sugar, turn it into the icing, and layer that down and put the banana slices on it. Next layer, do the banana slices again, and then pour it down the sides, and then stick toothpicks in the banana slices so that they wouldn't slide off, because she would put it down the sides of the cake too. And then that would be the cake.
Nice.
Sounds amazing. I like both bananas and cake. So,
oh, it was amazing. But my aunt tried to recreate it one year, and
it was not successful.
I love my aunt to death, but that woman did not do that cake justice.
Good effort.
Also, you know what? Shout out to all the grannies out there, because damn, could they cook. Not saying that modern people can't cook. I'm just saying modern people can't cook as well as their grannies. And that's just facts. You have to be a granny to be able to cook really, really good. Because they cook with a secret ingredient that we like to call love.
And
but it's a special love, though, that only grannies have.
And apparently they eyeball shit, because I don't ever see a granny use a recipe.
No, my mom does not either. I like, how do you make this, Mom? And she's like, well, you put this in it, and you put this in it, and you put like, well, how much of that do you put in? She's like, I don't know. I just put in this much. And I'm like, that tells me a lot. So I
like,
put in a
can you write the recipe down?
Seasoning.
Can you write the recipe down? Yeah, sure.
I can tell you what to buy.
I mean, even with the measurement tools that they had, that's why we have teaspoons and tablespoons, and that's why everything's measured, because that's what everybody had.
Right.
That's what everybody had. Yeah.
Right. But what I'm saying is like you're looking at them going, well, can you give me the list of what you used? Yeah, and they write it down, and you're like, a dash of this, a pinch of that. What the fuck is a dash? What's the measurement of that? Oh, well, about this much.
Can you convert the dash to the metric system, please?
Can you give me in this tablespoon? How much am I using?
Yeah. Somebody call Jimmy Carter.
It's like, you're killing me, Granny. You know,
We need a conversion.
She's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. No, you need to pass that recipe down to somebody. And she didn't. And Lord help us, nobody can make it now.
Yeah.
And
See,
it's horrible.
I'm scared that's going to happen with like my mom's dressing recipe, because it's the dressing I've had all my life and I love it, and I don't like any dressing as good as hers. But I don't know how to make it. And I'm like, Mom, you've got to show me how to make the dressing. And she's like, well, you got to start with cornbread. And I'm like, well, how do you make cornbread? Because I've never made cornbread. I don't know about you, either of you two. But I've never made cornbread in my life.
I make sweet cornbread.
And she's like, oh, well, it's easy. And she do it. So I figured out how to make cornbread now. I've never made it, but I think I know how to now. But my mom makes cornbread. She makes two different types of cornbread. She makes regular cornbread, but her cornbread is like my dad used to say. My dad used to say my mom can make cornbread like a cake. That's what it looks like, but it's not sweet. She doesn't put sugar in it. It's not sweet cornbread, but it's like that thick and moist, and it's just the best cornbread I've ever had. And then she also does fried cornbread. That she'll take the batter and put it into a skillet, and the little circle actually ends up being kind of oval shape, and does the fried cornbread, which those are good too, but I prefer the baked cornbread to the fried cornbread. Me personally, each to their own. And she starts going over with the stuff to put in the dress and after cornbread. I'm like, you're going to have to make it one day and walk me through each step. But this year I tricked her and I got her to tell me how to make her chocolate pie. My mom makes the best chocolate pie, and it's all homemade. Meringue and everything is all homemade. And I videoed her giving me the recipe. So now I've got it on my phone, a video of my mom telling me how to make her famous chocolate pies. So that's good. Now if I can just get the dressing. Yeah, if I can just get the dressing recipe, I'll be set. Sally, luckily, my mom taught Sally how to make chicken and dumplings. Like mom makes, which is also how my grandmother made chicken and dumplings. So it's a generational recipe going forward. But Sally knows how to make the chicken and dumplings now. She makes them very good. She's made them like the last few years at Thanksgiving. So I've almost got the trifecta.
Do you put sweet peas in the chicken and dumpling? Hang on, hear me out. Do you do that?
No, but I'm not a monster.
Oh, hold on. Get this. My great grandmother made chicken and dumplings, and she passed it down to her two daughters. So my granny and then my great aunt. They made chicken and dumplings every Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
One year, my granny told my great aunt to make chicken and dumplings because my granny wasn't feeling well. My granny had got diagnosed with cancer. My great aunt said, okay. Well, she let her daughter tell her that she thought peas should go into the chicken and dumpling. My great aunt listened to her. Wow. She put peas in this, and it was canned peas, mind you. It wasn't even fresh peas. It was canned peas. We got there, and me and my uncle fight over my great grandmother's recipe of chicken and dumplings. Like, that's the first thing. We get a whole plate of dumplings before we get anything else. That's the first course.
Well, yeah.
And we're in there, and we go to open up this pot, and we look down, and I looked at my uncle. I looked down at the pot. I looked at my uncle. I said, you can have them. He leaned over and kind of nudged me aside. He looked at those. He looked at me and he said, I ain't eating that. And he slammed my hand and the pot lid back down. And we walked away. And my great aunt looked at us and said, the dumplings are there. And he goes, those ain't dumplings. He said, I don't know what the hell you put in them. He said, but I ain't eating those.
So
only one person put any on the plate.
What did this look like? Now, You have to like boil like dumplings, right? I mean, it's
Well,
Yes.
no, hold on.
So the
This is how they
peas
make
would have
dumplings. This is how they make dumplings. Right?
disintegrated by the time
Oh
the
no, no.
dumplings are done, right?
This is how they make dumplings. You make homemade biscuits.
Mhm.
So you make the dough, they roll it out, and then they cut the strips.
Mhm.
Then they put those in and get them cooking. They've got the chicken in a whole different pot till it's falling off the bone.
Mhm.
Then they put them all together, and then they added the peas. The peas weren't mush
go.
at this point. So the peas were only added towards the end. And only one person tried it. And they're like, we have all these dumplings left over. Why didn't anybody eat them? And they're like, who the hell's idea was it to add the damn peas? And the only person that tried it was the person that told her to add peas.
Yeah.
Now, and my daddy stood up and he said, Maynell, which was his aunt, he said, is there a reason why you butchered Granny's recipe? And she said, what do you mean? He said, the peas. He said, at the time, daddy was like 50 years old. He said, we've never, in the 50 years I've lived, had peas in these.
Yeah.
Why would they be in here now? And she pointed at her daughter, and he turned and looked at her and he goes, if you ever have an idea about food in this house again, keep it to your darn self, because nobody cares about your stupidity coming out your mouth.
You know what? Some people would say he was harsh, but you know what? I agree with him. You don't mess with chicken and dumplings.
Well, you don't mess with a recipe that has been going for over 70 years. You don't change it at the spur of the moment.
Listen, I have seen commercials on TV about chicken and dumplings, and I've seen it with it's like a home. They actually make like a biscuit and cover it with the whatever, and it's like carrots and peas in it. And I'm like, that's not chicken and dumplings. I don't know what you're making a pot pie without the pie.
Pretty much.
That's not chicken and dumplings. Chicken and dumplings has two ingredients.
You're making like a crustless pie, pretty much.
Yeah, there's two main ingredients for chicken and dumplings: chicken, with the broth from the chicken, and the dumpling.
I mean,
other than that, the only two options are salt and pepper to taste.
I would probably eat them. I don't know, but I like peas, so.
Well, I love peas, but the problem is that
not in dumplings.
Well, no, the problem is that when you mix the can, because she didn't strain them, she dumped.
Oh God!
And you can see the oil. You can see the oil and everything floating with all the rest of it, and that's why nobody touched it. Like, you didn't strain them and just put the peas in. You put the entire contents of the can.
The peas would have been enough for me, much less the pea juice.
I love peas, but seeing it not mixed together. Potatoes. Well, not seeing it mixed together though in the pot was like, what the devil did she do? My granny, of course, being diagnosed with cancer, looks at in this pot, looks at her sister and goes, until my dying breath, you will never be in charge of making the dumplings again.
Amen, lady.
And my great grandmother, who's sitting in a chair like this, half asleep, going, says, "Hey now," like that, and she goes, "How could you ruin Christmas?" It's like, oh my God.
Dang, officially ruined Christmas.
I was like, that's just harsh.
So I've seen this before where somebody tries something, different with a dish that it's always served the same way. And some people just, of course they don't like it, whatever, but they freak out because it's not just about the taste of the dish. It's about a tradition or something.
It's a tradition
for them.
Yes.
To me, that doesn't really matter. I'm just like, oh, different food. And
Oh no,
I would probably
me,
just
no.
eat it.
Well, now see,
No.
that's when I was a lot younger. Now I don't care. Like
Yeah.
I'll eat whatever as long as it tastes good. I don't give a hell what it is, even if it looks weird. Because I've been all over the world. You know, other cultures make dishes that you're looking at like that don't look right. But if it smells good and it tastes good, I don't care how the fuck it looks as long as it tastes good.
Mm.
I've had a dish where they had squid and octopus on the plate and the tentacles were still moving because the octopus and squid were still alive and fresh when they killed it, and the nerves were still twitching when they brought the plate out. And I'm like, well, that's a little odd. But there was no head or body. Right. Well, there was no head or body. So I was like, there's no way this thing's actually still alive. But, you know, I still ate it. But, you know, now when I'm
There's
now
still
that I'm
twitching in
older,
his stomach to this very day.
right, well, I mean, maybe. But now that I'm older, you know, an adult, I'll eat whatever. I don't care what it looks like as long as it tastes and smells good. But on that day, I was like, you just ruined my best meal, my favorite recipe of all time. How dare you?
To be fair, Buck, that same logic
To be
ran us
fair.
to a whole generation of kids that are eating Tide Pods because
I
they
mean-
smelled good.
But Tide Pods don't look good, Clint. And they sure as fuck can't taste good.
They smelled good, apparently.
I mean, they look delicious.
No, they do not.
It's those liquid centers.
What if they were butterscotch flavored?
So what you're
Butterscotch
so
flavored
what you're
Tide.
saying so what you're saying, Clan, is this generation is looking at Tide Pods like we looked at Gushers.
Yes. Yes.
Gotta get to the gushy center.
Yep.
And then apparently they're butterscotch flavored, so that must be amazing when they bite into them.
Maybe. What's it? Oh, legal wants me to tell you right now: do not bite into a Tide Pod; you'll die.
Do not.
Yeah, no shit.
Do not do that.
Yeah. We're good. We're good.
There's a whole list of things that generation should not be doing. We do not need to list them right now.
So what else you got, Diz? We talked about favorite desserts. What else you got on your big list of stuff to talk about?
I want to say something. Y'all were talking about doing Jello shots and doing other shots. My day consisted of whiskey fireball shots.
Oh.
That is what was offered at the house I was at.
That's very nice of them.
I did not partake.
Are you feeling bad?
No, Harley was feeling bad, and I thought I was going to have to drive.
You didn't even have one?
Nope.
Damn.
But
I've never had Fireball.
requested...
Is it just whiskey that is cinnamon flavored?
It tastes like an atomic fireball candy.
Oh, okay.
I like cinnamon candy.
Now, for me, I would rather have the Jack Daniels Fireball because it tastes like Jack Daniels whiskey mixed with atomic fireball candy instead of just the cinnamon fireball. But that's me. However, I found out from her stepdad today that the half-gallon bottles, the company that he works for, they ship them all the time. And when a crate gets damaged and the seals around the lids get messed up, that they can't ship them. And there's a good chance that for Christmas I can get a free bottle. I was like, I'll take it. Like I won't turn down free alcohol, so I'll take it.
Exactly. Heck yeah, that'll work.
But Harley wasn't having a good day today, so I was like, I'll pass on drinking today, and in case she needs me.
Good man, Bug.
I don't
Well,
have to.
Back to the list. It's way over there, but I remember what was on it. So we were talking about in the pre-show, which is available on our Only Liches.
You got to finish the rest of it, is.
Hey,
What?
be careful saying that. We do have a Patreon. If they search for us on Patreon, we're there.
You didn't finish the rest of it, is.
What was the rest of it? Only Liches?
Yeah, you didn't finish
for sexy bitches.
For sexy bitches. We were talking about Clan Diesel was a little late to showing up to go on here, so we were like
2 minutes late.
We were
like 2 minutes late.
I mean, it's late, but whatever. We were just. I don't have a problem with that. We were just discussing it, and somebody else, Timmy Turbo, actually was in the Discord with us, and we were talking about. He's like, "Well, if you need a third, or an alternate, I can jump in there." And we were trying to figure out, how old you needed to be considered an old man to be on the show. So that discussion led into comparing people to when they were born versus releases of gaming consoles. So then we started discussing how old a system or a game had to be considered retro. And it seems to be a little bit of a debatable subject.
Mm-hmm.
Clan Diesel holds a particular mindset on this.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do. As I said in the pre-show, I hold to the rule given to us by Lord Jeremy Parrish of Retronauts. He also gave us the term Metroidvania. Even though he tries to say no, he's the guy that popularized it, so it gets him. He goes by the rule, and he says he's researched it, and it seems to be that most people tend to stick with this. That retro is anything 10 years old or older would be considered retro from the time that you are in now, because there's no set spot. It's constantly moving because time. So that is the rule I go by. Anything 10 years or older, I consider retro.
So I like that because it lets us play a lot of different games on Super Retro Game Show.
It does.
But I was just looking it up on Google, and Wikipedia came up with to be considered retro, it needed to be a system or a game that is not in production anymore. You can't just go to the store and buy it off the shelf at Walmart or Target or wherever. That has to be something that you're going to buy secondhand.
So the 3DS is retro.
If you can't go buy it at GameStop or wherever, yeah, it would be retro at that point. So I think you have to kind of combine the two, though, that it needs to be at least 10 years old and discontinued, because they could have came out with a system that might not have performed so well and discontinued it sooner. Like, I don't know how long the Wii U was on the market before they actually stopped making those. It did not take off, and I don't think it speaks to what the system could do or couldn't do. I think it was the marketing, the naming of that system was tragic. So,
yeah. Well, the Wii U was 5 years, so 2012 to 2017.
yeah.
It was officially discontinued January 31st, 2017.
So it didn't have a long run like some of these systems do.
Longer than the Virtual Boy.
Longer than the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
What do you think, Buck?
Well, I mean, by that standard of what you read, right? Say for example, the new Flash movie was a game. That means that fucker will be retro in a year, right? Because it bombs so hard nobody cares.
Right. If you
That's
go
true.
just by that one rule, yeah.
Right. Because if it's discontinued, if something bombs so hard that you can't buy it because nobody's making it anymore, then in less than 2 years it becomes retro. Like
Yep.
that's a stupid logic to look at.
I think it
Because
needs to
that's
be
not
kind of a
I think there should be a time
combining.
frame. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a time frame.
Well, I think we're using the wrong words,
Okay.
is what I'm thinking, because you're thinking of retro, and I'll blame our generation for this because we're getting older. So for us, it's two different things. I think if you want to look at it, retro is fine to say anything 10 years older is retro. Just say that, all right? Maybe what we need to do is we need to think of it like cars, right? Like cars. People think of cars and they use words like not retro,
Antique.
because retro could be something else, right? They use antique, classic, vintage.
Ooh, we don't use that last word.
Where would you be? So if you do like classic gaming, where would you think that as? In my mind, classic gaming automatically goes to like the NES, right? That's when it was popular. It became classic. At that time, when you have the NES coming out on the market, it shoots in popularity. People begin to use video game and Nintendo as synonyms. Like I didn't tell my mom to go buy a video game at Walmart. I asked my mom to buy me a Nintendo game.
Mm-hmm.
Or when a new system came out, everybody didn't say, well, what's that new system like we do now? Because we're used to it. It was, what's the new Nintendo? So I think maybe we need to look at that. Let's use different words to classify what we're talking about.
So classic
retro
would
is kind
be
of a time frame.
That era.
Right. I think classic gaming would be like starting at the NES. So you're looking at 80.
Not even Atari? You don't even think Atari?
I would think Atari 2600 and before, I would say would be like, antique. Would be antique gaming. And so this would be everything from Pong.
Vintage. It is vintage gaming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Antique or vintage gaming would be like Magnavox Odyssey, Pong, Intellivision, ColecoVision, Atari 2600. Stop. So in 1983, you stop. That is when that time period stops. So you're running from 76 to 83.
You know what he's about to put in classic gaming, right? His favorite console.
I think it would be. I think it would be. I think classic.
That's what I'm saying.
Classic gaming starts with the release. If you want to go internationally, let's say the release of the Famicom starts the classic era. So then you're talking, let's throw in the SG-1000 to be fair, since there's only like a few months difference between SG-1000 and the Famicom. So let's go 83, Japan 83, into United States 85, and then go to say 94 for classic. So like I said, that covers Famicom, SG-1000, SG-3000 in Japan, the NES launched in the United States. That would cover the Super Nintendo's lifespan. So that takes you up to major consoles up into the PlayStation. So that would also lump in like probably the TurboGrafx 16 and Genesis. The SG-3000 is the Mega Drive. I mean, it is the Master System. So that's there. So yeah, all those. So up into PlayStation 1. That's in 94. That is what encompasses that era.
So at the PlayStation, what would you consider that era of gaming then?
See, I don't know, because this is where it gets tricky, right? What do you call that era? Because if we're saying, or do you agree with me that you consider like the NES SNES lifespan be like the classic era of gaming?
It is, and it's not just because it's the Nintendo. It's because
No.
we had Sega and Nintendo out there, and they were butting head to head.
Yep.
And we have that again that happens with the PlayStation and the Xbox. Then those start going head to head, later. So we have like a reemergence of this rivalry.
I mean, at first you have Nintendo and PlayStation, right?
I was gonna say you got
that starts out as a huge war because Nintendo is the big man on campus. PlayStation shows up and within a matter of a few years knocks Nintendo off its ass.
I don't know that that's a rivalry as much as a bullying.
Sony showed up to the party with something to prove because Nintendo screwed them over.
I mean, Sony showed up with a shotgun. Nintendo showed up with a knife.
Right, but it was because Nintendo screwed over Sony.
Yeah.
Just think of it. We could be living in a world where there was a Nintendo PlayStation.
I know, right?
That was a Super Nintendo that played discs and cartridges.
It would be. We wouldn't have
Nirvana.
We would no longer have Crash Bandicoot.
That's true. There probably wouldn't be Crash Bandicoot. That's
true.
So
maybe
was
New Age
publishing everything. What would you say? New Age? Would you say Golden Age?
Because if you go classic and then New Age, and then you'd have the modern age, which would be what we have now.
Right. But then again, that keeps changing.
Right, but I'm saying for now, because because once you get to modern age, once you start shifting again, and what becomes now modern age, Nintendo becomes vintage. 64 and PlayStation becomes classic.
Yeah.
What is now modern age is new age.
But
then the new stuff is now modern age.
He's talking about eras of time, though, like which would be fixed in a place and time that would not change.
Right.
That they would always be classic.
But the eras and time stay, but the game consoles themselves change their bracket.
Yeah.
Well, not so much. He's talking about almost like it's the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, and those stay fixed in a point in time because they were defined by those particular things, consoles that happened in those, eras. Rather than talking about like we were before retro versus,
But that's what we're referring to is retro is constantly changing. It's constantly flowing.
I feel like that is, yes. Yeah.
So the time frame or the titles in which you give something also has to constantly change.
Right.
Because like my pickup truck being a 2007 eventually will become an antique. It will eventually devolve into that era, no matter what I want to do with it. Just like the Xbox X and S will eventually devolve to that time frame and push a Nintendo so far out that it will never, matter anymore of what you want to call it.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like I said, I was looking at it as like cars, right? So you think of a classic car, right? In my mind, when I say classic car, and this may be different for everybody, this is just me being, subjective. When I think of classic car, I think of like a 57 Chevy.
Right.
Like 40s, 50s cars.
That's our mentality of our era.
Right. So the way that the video game industry has figured this out is they don't do that. They don't name them like that. What they do is they give them generations. So like this is like X is whatever. X console is a something generation console.
Right.
And they break it up.
But what Buck says is making sense as well as you jump ahead 25 years into the future, all of a sudden classic gaming means something completely different.
Yeah, 20 years in the future, what it means to us is PlayStation 5.
Yeah. PlayStation 5. Classic.
His classic gaming, yeah.
Because
Final Fantasy
for
16
us,
is a classic game.
Like for us, when we get to the stage that we're where the World War II veterans are 90 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking at Nintendo just came out. When we get to that stage of looking at things and the new console just comes out, what's Nintendo at that point to the generation that just saw the new console come out? Like we saw the new console come out. Because to them, what the hell's a Nintendo? Most of them won't even know what a Nintendo is anymore.
True.
But they don't call the Switch a Nintendo. I mean, it is the Nintendo Switch.
Well, no, I'm saying the NES.
They just call
I'm
it
saying what is the NES to that generation when we're old enough that we get to the point that for the old generation that saw the Nintendo or the NES launch, when we get to that stage of our lifespan and the generation that we were that age when it came out, when that new console comes out, that generation looks back, they aren't even going to know what an NES was. Like they won't have a clue what that console was.
No.
Here's my guess. At that point, my guess is that their video games will be so realistic that they'll go into like some VR world, and then their character will go sit down and play Nintendo inside of that.
They'll be like neural linked in, and they'll be playing a console, going, "What's this console?"
Yep.
And the NPC will be like, "That's a Super NES," and they'll be like, "What?"
You just described the Sega Genesis Collection video game interface, because when you boot up the game and play it, you're in a 90s bedroom, and what you do is you move to the shelf that has your Sega games on it, and it's all the games that is in the collection, but they're in their boxes. And you take the game off the shelf, and it opens up, and there's the cartridge. If you want to play it, then it takes the cartridge out of the thing, puts it in the virtual Sega, and then it comes up on the screen and plays it. So yeah, you just described the Sega collection.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're naked from the waist down. You missed it. What you don't know is Buck is actually wearing his festive Thanksgiving Day thongs that on the front, what is it they say, Biz?
Gobble this.
Yeah, gobble this. So there you go.
Yeah, you have to get a tier 3 Patreon to see that picture.
Oh man.
We're trying to figure out what is considered retro gaming and what is not considered retro gaming. And I feel like you might have insight on this, since you're just 15 years younger than us.
Jesus. That's right. Listen, in the pre-show, we were hanging out, and Diz is telling me that Timmy offered to take my spot, but he was like, "No, you can't, according to the bylaws or whatever," and then walks away, as Diz does. And Matt comes back when Diz leaves, and he's like, "No, this is what really happened, because I heard the whole thing." Basically, what it boils down to is that they were going over consoles when people were born compared to consoles, right? As Diz was explaining earlier.
Mm.
And we found out that Timmy Turbo TV and the Nintendo 64 are the same age, and I just can't handle that.
Exactly, like to the month.
Well, I don't know about to the month, but they both made their North American debut in 1996.
and that is Clan's most hated console, chat. So he said, crazy. He said, "Hell no."
Yeah, not a fan of the Nintendo 64. Between the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation, definitely a PlayStation guy.
When did it come out?
The PlayStation?
The same year?
94.
94.
94. is when the PlayStation came out.
Goodness. When did I get a PlayStation?
Now, I didn't get a PlayStation until
It was
1997.
It was much later, yeah.
Yeah. I got a PlayStation when they announced that Final Fantasy VII would be releasing on PlayStation instead of Nintendo 64. So that Christmas of 97, I got a PlayStation and I got Final Fantasy VII.
Here's what I remember. I remember I didn't play Final Fantasy VII because I didn't have a PlayStation at that time. But I remember playing Final Fantasy VIII. So I got a PlayStation between those two games being released.
Yep. Well, that was during the golden age there, because that was the time where we got a Final Fantasy game every year. And it was glorious.
That's also during the time frame when they were working on Chronicles and Anthology, and they're bringing out everything for PlayStation.
Which was good that we got those games, because one of the games we got had never been released here, which was Final Fantasy V.
We also got Tactics.
The bad news is those are horrible ports of those games. And if you have a choice, do not play the Chronicles or Anthology versions of those games.
Yeah, if you go to buy them at a retro game store, you'll notice that the price tag on those is a lot lower than the other versions of them.
Yeah, compare the Final Fantasy Anthology price, which is the PlayStation 1 version of that has Final Fantasy 4 and Chrono Trigger on it, versus the Final Fantasy 2 SNES cartridge. There is a chasm between them.
You can buy all three of those games and still be less than what you would pay for the other one.
Yes, 100%. Yes, it's crazy.
And you're getting like 6 games in like 6 or 7 games and buying those 3 discs.
But we did get Tactics.
We did get Tactics.
Tactics is really good, yeah.
And PlayStation
Tactics is very good. Speaking of Tactics, if you do like Final Fantasy Tactics and you like tactics-based games, right now on both Steam and the PlayStation Store, you can get Tactics Ogre Reborn on sale right now. I think for like $25.
Ooh. Nice.
Yes. Hey, babe, can I buy some Steam games? You can, you can. Thanks, babe. Chat, you all heard her, right? She said that I could.
I mean, Black Friday, right?
Exactly. But yeah.
I mean, I'd wait till Cyber Monday.
You know what's not on sale, though? Octopath Traveler 2, and it pisses me off. The only place that's got Octopath Traveler 2 on sale is, well, there's 2 places. One, Walmart. It's like $32. 2, GameStop. It's $29.99. But it's the physical version. And that pisses me off.
Yep. I got that one. I got Ogre's Tactic, and I got
Battlefield Chronicles.
Yeah, God, the fucking names. I don't know why they keep naming these things. These crazy ass names.
I want both those games.
I got them all on PS5, the physical versions, because I like that.
See, I don't like physical.
To hold them.
I don't, because the whole game's not on the disc.
And smell them. So,
if the internet died tomorrow, you would not be able to play the game anymore.
Smells like butterscotch.
Oh, well, then definitely don't buy the physical version, Chad. It's poison. Isn't Clandus buying us all PS5s and new Xboxes? No, he's not. You know what? I will. If chat reaches our donation goal of $10,000 US, I will send everybody who's an active chatter right now a PS5 and or Xbox of their choice. Oh, speaking of Xbox, you know what's weird? The thing that happened this week, speaking of Xbox, is that okay, so Buck's been streaming Ark Survival Ascended, right? Since it came out on Steam. Came out on Steam first. They delayed launch on Xbox and Xbox Store on PC for a while. So I assumed it would be like Ark was before, and it would be on Game Pass. Right? Makes sense.
Fair assumption.
Well,
it's not.
Art did not come out on Game Pass initially either, though. It initially came out as game preview, preview only, and then it shifted to Game Pass.
Right. But I was surprised
that's probably how they're doing this too.
That it did not come out on Game Pass.
They have Octopath Traveler 2 on Etsy for $6. It's a digital download.
Did they ever release those two Zelda games on the Switch Online stuff?
The Oracle games?
Yeah. I don't know if they ever did that. I know that they were going to.
I mean, you could look and see if this is what you're talking about, but I'm pretty sure that that right there.
Let me look. I'll go on the official site. Nintendo Switch Online. Classic games.
I would like to learn more.
For the Game Boy.
But yeah, I sent you a link, Clint. It says a digital.
They are. They're there.
Steam account.
Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons are there. What's up, chat? Ghost of Casey Kasem here. I'm going to give you the complete list of Game Boy games available right now on Nintendo Switch Online in alphabetical order. Starting with number 1, Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare. Blaster Master, Enemy Below. Burger Time Deluxe. Castlevania Legends for all you goth chicks out there. Gargoyle's Quest. Game & Watch Gallery 3. Kirby's Dream Land. Kirby's Tilt and Tumble. Kirby's Dream Land 2. Metroid 2, Return of Samus. Pokemon Trading Card Game. Quest for Camelot. Really? Quest for Camelot? That's what we're going with? Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. Tetris. The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, X Gonna Give It To You version. The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Ages. Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Seasons. And lastly, Wario Land 3. And that was your long distance dedication. There you go.
I would like to play through the Metroid games. I've never really played through them. I never really owned any of them. I'd love to go through and play through those at some
Metroid.
Point.
Super Metroid is the bomb. Hey, did you know that speaking of Metroid Fusion is on the Game Boy Advance collection thing for the Nintendo Switch Online, and Legend of Zelda Minish Cap is also on Nintendo Switch Online. If you have the expansion pass, Nintendo Switch Online.
I was looking up Minish Cap. So as we're playing on a Super Retro Game Show, we're playing Oracle of Ages. We already did Seasons, so the next would be Wind Waker.
Yep.
And then I think it's one of the is it the Four Swords game? Maybe, and then Minish Cap. So, and I've never played Minish Cap, so. For some reason, when it says Minish Cap, it makes me think of Tinkle. I don't know, or that's not Tinkle. Tingle.
Tinkle. You got to go to the bathroom, Diz?
It makes me think of tinkling.
Okay, so here we go. All the Zelda games in release order. So you ready? Should I bring in Casey Kasem? Number 1, of course, Legend of Zelda. Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Link to the Past. Link's Awakening. Ocarina of Time. Majora's Ass. Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. Wind Waker. Four Swords Adventures. Minish Cap. Twilight Princess. Phantom Hourglass. Spirit Tracks. Skyward Sword. Link Between Worlds. Trinity Force Heroes. Breath of the Wild. And the new one.
Why is the HD remake of Twilight Princess for Wii U so fucking expensive?
Because it was a very probably limited thing because there's not that many Wii U's out there in the world.
Oh my gosh, why is it so pricey?
I do own Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. for the Wii U.
HD?
And you have the
No, I have that. I'm saying
Yeah.
Twilight Princess HD.
Oh, Twilight Princess. I think I have Twilight Princess HD. I'm not sure. I think I do. Pretty sure I do. Very rarely do I not buy a Zelda game. But yeah,
If that's true, do you own Hyrule Warriors?
I do not because I don't count that. That's not real. The Octopath game looks amazing, and everybody that I trust as far as telling me whether a game is good or not has said that it is amazingly good. Basically, they say don't play the first one, play the second one. A lot of people, the second one was their game of the year until Tears of the Kingdom.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, and then that happened. A lot of people, Tears of the Kingdom was their game of the year until Baldur's Gate 3 came out. They just wrecked the gaming.
I will say Tears is better than Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
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 But
Tears
I still think they should have taken out the weapon breaking shit.
Fully into Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate 3 is really fun. You can play through it many times over.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like over 1,000 different possible endings that you could get.
Definitely check that one out at some point in your life. Doesn't have to be today.
That sure comes out on Xbox finally in January, I believe.
Because any real chance I was going to be able to give Baldur's Gate 3, guess what came out? ASA.
Ark.
And then guess what's coming out soon after that? Guess what's coming out next year, chat?
Enshrouded.
No, guess what's coming out next year? Ark 2 and
I'm going to tell you right now, Ark 2 is not coming out next year.
Not even worried about that though. What's coming out next year, Clan?
Probably a lot of things.
Rebirth?
No. 3-part.
Rebirth?
It'll start next year.
Oh, start next year? 3-parter.
It's a 3-parter. You've already seen the trailer for the first part.
Oh yeah, but that'll come out late. That's late next year. That's like October, November next year for the War Within.
But it's still coming out.
It is still coming out.
And the DLCs are going to come out for ASA.
Yep.
So, anytime I'd have given to BG3, bye-bye. I got too much shit on my plate right now.
It's still fun. Even if you don't like turn-based games. So, at some point, you can check it out.
It's not that I don't like them. It's my favorite survival game and my favorite MMO have got better content dropping out, and I've got to be there.
I mean, the good thing about WoW, though, I mean, the new content will be there in 6 weeks. You'll be done with it.
That's not true. I have 40 characters.
But you'll know what to do then.
Yes,
get progressively quicker.
You try to move 40 characters through an expansion there, buddy. It takes longer than 6 weeks.
No,
I can't do it. No, I can't play it.
Hold on.
Over and
to
over
be
and
fair,
over again.
I'll move my 40 level 20 characters.
That's true. That's true.
No, you won't, Diz. You'll move one potentially to max level, and then you'll go to classic and you'll build 40 level 20s.
Yep.
25s, I mean, in that new
season of discovery
season stuff. And then you'll be like, what's going to come out next?
Yep.
Listen. And then that'll be all, because that's all you'll be doing.
I have a bunch of characters in classic, and I will be starting again when Season of Discovery comes out.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's my point. Y'all are not ready for the new expansion.
You don't. They'll fast track it in just a few months. They'll be, hey guys, come back to WoW. There's a new fast track thing. If you do these 4 quests, it will get you ready for the new expansion.
I'm talking about the storyline, not the damn armor.
Story. Here,
I have a lot to catch up on there.
5 minutes.
No, don't you sit there and try to ruin it for Diz. I know he doesn't read, but he can watch the cinematics as they unfold during the story clan.
You can catch up on the WoW story for Dragonflight in a 25-minute video on YouTube.
Oh my god, that does not show it all.
The best quest out of Dragonflight that I've found so far is the one that involves Bane.
That is not the best one. That is a good one, though.
Listen, the only thing that wants me to go through that damn underground part on there is just so I get more Ebonheart time. That's it.
I tell you what.
If you will drag me through there, I will do it.
The best portion of what I've found, the best portion of the whole thing is watching Ebonhorn take the seat.
I do like Ebonhorn. Good character.
Ebonhorn
should be leader of the
finally
Black Dragon
stepping up and taking the Black Dragon aspect seat of power. That is the best part. Followed very closely by Bane showing the hell up and whooping the ever living shit out of the centaurs in the Anarn Plains. Yeah. Because that quest line was great.
So I do need to catch up. I do want to go to the Emerald Dream.
That is a great scene going on there.
I do want to see that. I do want to catch up on the story. It's just the biggest problem I have with Dragonflight is that Classic is a much better game.
Yeah. But we've played Classic.
We've played Classic, but that's what's so cool about Season of Discovery. We haven't played it's new. It ain't Classic. Out. It'll be out in 6 days.
But it ain't out.
You're right.
You can at least get through to Emerald Dream and get to that part.
Maybe, but I need help because literally I logged into retail to unwrap my mounts and my pet I got from Twitch drops, and everything yelled at me. Yeah. Saying I needed to do something, and I'm just like, you all need to calm down.
I feel like I'm setting up a new iPhone here.
Exactly.
Hey, sign into all these passwords. Beep, 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 beep. I can't sign into one because the other one.
Hey, would you like to sign into your YouTube? I know I would. This is hey, would you like to go out on the Anarn Plains and help the centaurs? I know I would.
No, I wouldn't. Bane done wrecked them.
So I'm like, I do plan on going through there. I got to do all those dungeons that I was waiting on Diz to do that now I know he's not going to do.
I mean, I can go do them.
I won't enjoy it.
I mean, why do you got to go do those dungeons, Clay? You won't be able to use none of that gear.
Because they're part of the quest. Do I just abandon the quest?
I mean, you abandon everything else in Dragonflight. You don't want to go help the Niven?
I did not. The Niven. Oh my god. Freaking Moby. I just don't like their area.
Out the Emerald Dream, there's 8 more dragon sigils.
Why?
Because there's 2 more dragon abilities to use.
Can't I just put my dragon on autopilot and just say, hey, fucking fly that way? And be like, all right, boss.
Oh, I get tired. I'm a dragon.
That's the thing. You do get tired on your dragon, and then you gotta land, let it rest up, and then you fly some more, and then you go down and rest up. And then somebody thought it'd be a good idea to put that in the new world, but they fixed it. Guess what? You don't get to fly at full speed in normal WoW with your dragon mount. There's a speed limit.
Oh shit! Really?
So, yep, you don't get to fly as fast as you do in Dragonflight using your Dragonflight mount in the regular world. You do not. Denied by admin.
Does it slow them down so that they're just as fast as the other ones?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's only going 310%, then there's no reason to even be on one.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's matches the speed of the other mounts in the normal world. Only in Dragonflight do they go faster. And then also, I think at World Within, or the War Within, you'll be able to also. No, they're already building that in. Never mind. I thought I was going to say you'd use them on a flight path, but you can't. More Within, though, once you learn a flight path, you learn it account wide.
What about the new allied races coming? Got to get that new allied race out there.
Yeah, the Earthen. Yep, I do like allied races. They're cool.
You ain't even got all them unlocked yet.
Actually, everybody has them unlocked now.
I mean, you ain't went and got them unlocked though.
You don't have to do anything anymore.
You got to build them.
So technically, now Diz has all the allied races too.
I did it. I finally did it.
You did. Now we can make that part of the Void Elves I always wanted.
I unlocked like 2 of them anyway.
That's true. He did.
I think it was maybe the Void Elves and the Chinchillas.
No. Yeah, I remember you getting the Chinchillas.
Well, welcome to where all of the lazy people chat get credit for all the shit that the hardworking people work their butts off for.
Or as we like to call it, WoW retail.
Fucking bullshit. I earned all mine.
Just wait a minute and you'll get everything anyway.
Because I'll get all the achievements that y'all won't be getting.
I don't care about the achievements.
I do.
That's what I remember WoW when there were no achievements.
I know you're playing that version.
No, and it's better.
No, it is not better.
You're outvoted. 2 out of 3 people on this show agree that WoW Classic is better than WoW Retail.
It's not better when the hunter is missing a solid bag because they've got to carry all their bullets.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll fix that in Season of Discovery.
Yeah,
it's also not better when you got to carry a whole bag of food because your damn pet runs off if you don't fucking feed it.
He get hungry.
He's eating the fucking shit I'm killing.
Listen, let him eat it if you don't feed me.
Yeah, but let him eat what I'm killing and be done with it.
I'm just saying.
If I have a bear,
ornery if you don't feed
it, and it goes to attack something, it should be able to eat whatever I'm fucking attacking and then be done with it.
I mean, I agree with you 100%. See, I think that is the perfect form of Classic, right? If you take Classic and you make little quality of life changes that have been added into the retail game for a little while, I think then you'll have perfect Classic. Just don't go crazy with it. But subtle things like that, like having to keep food for your pet or, bags just for your ammo, whatever. I think that would be good. I think if you do that, a few more flight paths, I think you're golden.
I mean, just go play Classic Cataclysm when it comes out, clan.
Just get rid of the flight pass.
You'll get
Do
your flight pass.
instant travel.
Don't. Well, I mean, you
Oh,
could
they
do
won't.
that.
They ain't
You
gonna
go
do
to the
that.
flight
that.
path and they go, and you're instantly over there like every other freaking game.
They ain't gonna do
Could do
that because
that.
then the mages are gonna complain.
We'll just add a thing to the mages where they can instantly teleport to any flight path.
Well, no, I'm saying the mages are gonna complain because then they can't make the gold to teleport somebody somewhere. The whole point of them making their extra money is because of how long it takes to teleport somewhere. Or how long it takes to flight pass somewhere.
Well, like I said, instead of mages being able to only teleport to major cities, just say mages can teleport to any flight path.
Right, but what I'm getting at is if they can if people can instant teleport, then mages lose their income.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you're in a party with a mage and you're like, damn, we need to get over here, the mage should be like, all right, well, I got a spell that'll teleport us to, Westfall.
But I'm saying if y'all are saying make it to where you can instantly teleport from flight path to flight path, then the mage isn't needed ever. Then the mage becomes obsolete, just like the rogue becomes obsolete in retail for their lot picking.
Right. And they didn't care about that, did they?
Oh yeah, they did. Oh yeah, they did. They lost so much. The people.
So you need rogues to unlock so shit now.
In retail,
did they fix it?
so in retail, when they added keys to blacksmithing,
right?
They could in classic they could only go so far, and rogues had to be able, or rogues were the only ones able to unlock the best chests because blacksmiths couldn't go that far. Retail allowed you to go max in Dragonflight. They have been complaining about this to the point that they want them to fix it in the new expansion to where it goes back to the way it was. Because right now rogues are pointless in their lot picking.
So let's talk about that for a second. So the point of playing the game, is it to provide an economy for the game, or is it for the player to actually enjoy the storyline and go through the content and have fun and group up with and go to do dungeons? Or so why are they so upset about this making money thing when
because Blizzard put an economy in the game. They put an auction house and they allow people to be greedy with it.
So in retail, I never go to an auction house. I never visit the place. And if you do go by there, it's empty in retail. But in classic, there's people there all the time, 24 hours a day. You go to an auction house, they're always there. So it seems like they got rid of that too in retail. Is that?
Oh no, there's plenty of people go there, but they only go there in the major cities in the most recent expansion. They're not in the starter cities anymore because there's no need to be there.
Right, because they make everything in your past obsolete.
Pretty much.
Right. Yeah.
So like if you go to
that's what I don't like about
Horde. Right. Yeah. I understand where you're coming from. But like in Ogremar, since we're a Horde in retail for the most part, if you go to Ogremar, there's rarely anybody in Ogremar except for when they're going to the trading post. So you go to that auction house, there's nobody there. You go to Dragonflight, however, that's where everybody's at the auction house. That's where they're utilizing the auction house.
So the problem here is when they try to streamline the game. Because they've tried to make that better for players, right? They were going to eliminate you having to find a rogue to open these chests, make it better for everybody, but it actually pissed a bunch of people off. So
it's hurting because people were standing in the expansion's major city, whichever expansion it is, telling people if they need a lock box open, that most of the time they would do it for free, but tips were appreciated. And that's where they were getting their extra income, because the highest level chest you could find, a blacksmith's key could not open it, or a engineer's explosive couldn't blow the lock, because it would stop 10 levels shy lockpicking skill of that box. And that's what the rogue was for. And then they messed that up. That in BFA they brought out the mechanomes. Mechanomes can unlock anything. Doesn't matter. Once they're max level, they can unlock anything in the game. That kind of pissed the rogues off a little bit, but that's only the Alliance side that the rogues got pissed off with, because the Horde side doesn't have that. So any Horde rogue didn't care.
Why didn't they just make lockpicking a profession instead of it just being very class specific? Yeah.
Well, initially the rogues had a whole storyline for this.
Right.
You find that
went through it.
Right.
Well, I went through this.
So, right. And so that's what they were trying to make it driven for, is for the rogues to have their quest line to learn lock picking, be stealthy, get your feet wet, and teach you how to pickpocket and lock pick, and give you a very specific skill set
to help go talk to Jack.
Do things.
Jack.
You did not go talk to Jackie. Not in this one. Fuck him.
Oh, can you have like the reader thing, but for Final Fantasy 14? Because then I might be able to understand what the fuck he's saying.
But
once he says it, he talks.
Does he? I don't remember.
But then they did it, across the board in Dragonflight, and now all the Horde and all the Alliance rogues are pissed. So, just like with them doing that with the lock boxes, the mages are still, hey, if you need a portal to so and so, and you're kind of like, well, at the same time, do I really need a portal? Because if I go from Valdrakken to Orgrimmar, I've got most of my major city portals right here in Orgrimmar. What do I need a mage for? Because you really can't see me anywhere that I can't just go step into a portal to anyways. So they kind of screwed the mages over with all their portal network in the major cities now.
To me, I think they should focus in on the core aspect of the game, the player logging in, experiencing the story, interacting with the NPCs, grouping up with friends or whatever, and doing dungeons and raids and stuff like that. I think this other stuff should be secondary to that. And that's probably how they should look. That's probably how they made the decision on getting rid of the rogue lockpicking or something. So.
Well, I think the biggest thing that they're looking at now is the reason that they made these war bands is I think they're trying to shy them further away from the auction house. Because all of this stuff that you can pick up that in dungeons and stuff, if your party is hooked in the warband, then, or your account characters are hooked in the warband, they have access to it. So it gives you a better chance to give your other characters the gear that they might not have had access to because your character couldn't wear it, but another one of your characters could. Instead of it flooding the auction house and being overinflated.
I mean, if they're going to streamline the game, which is what they've shown that to me that they want to do every expansion, that even from just vanilla to Wrath of the Lich King, they streamline so many things. They should, if that's what they want to do, they should just go full bore with it. Or if they don't, they just need to reset it to what Classic was, the vanilla. You got to earn everything. Everything is as real world as it can get.
Well, guess what? Building on what you just said, we have characters that we created in hardcore, right? And in hardcore, the big thing is you get one life. If you die, that character is gone forever. Well, they're bringing in something new to hardcore. They talked about back at BlizzCon.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a version of hardcore that's even more hardcore, because basically on it, you're only going to be able to get items that you pick up. There will be no auction house. You cannot mail items to other characters. You can't trade items between whatever. You have to. You can only use what you basically get in game.
Well, you can buy bags, so I guess from vendors.
I guess you could, yeah, you could buy stuff from a vendor, I guess.
Oh,
Well, yeah, but I mean, by that would be brutal. Because if I was a tailor and I made bags, I couldn't give them to you.
you couldn't. No.
So professions would be useless to aid other people.
It would be. What you'll probably see people doing is taking a profession, getting it to a certain level, building everything they need, switching professions to something else.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that once they tried to switch back, they start back at level 1.
It would. Yep. But it wouldn't matter because you're not making bags for everybody. You just need to level up to a point where you make the bags for yourself. At that point, it's pointless to keep it.
But in order to get the bags that would be beneficial, you'd have to almost max tailoring.
You would. But staying at max tailoring would get you nothing. So at that point, you might as well swap and build something else up.
Right. But what I'm saying is that if you're not a cloth wearer, then your butt might as well wait to do tailoring until later when you've got enough cloth saved up to just,
knock it out. Yep.
Plow right through it.
True.
Yep. So it's called SSF, I believe is what it's called. Self-found coming in. So that's what it's called, self-found for hardcore coming in early 2024.
It's interesting, but what you're going to end up doing if you're in a PvP world, you're going to be even more screwed than you were before. Because it's going to take you so long to get up to that level that people that are already there, you're not going to be able to climb as quickly up to where they are. So, but some people may like that one.
So you can't trade, use the auction house, or mail items between characters. That's what self-found is. So there you go.
So that's when you make sure you keep, if you're in a party, you keep auto loot on.
Yeah. Yeah, there'll be fights for chests and stuff. Kind of like there almost was last night.
Well, no, I'm talking about like say I looted Defias, right?
Right. And you just do free for all group or loot. So
well, no, I'm saying like if I loot the body,
yeah,
and I see leather boots on there and Diz is a rogue. If I leave the boots, then Diz should be able to loot the body.
I should be able
as soon
to
as I let it go.
Yep.
So you would have to make sure no one in the party had auto loot on.
Yep.
Because the moment you have auto loot on, you're just taking it and then it's yours no matter what.
Maybe they'll disable auto loot.
But you'd have to be quick like that because somebody's going to come through and ninja that body the moment they see somebody corpse glowing, and and y'all are standing around like, Diz, this is your body. As soon as I let it go, you better click on it. Because somebody else be like, chew my body. Be like, oh, you son of a, kill him now.
Yep, definitely.
I remember in the first MMO I played, Shadowbane, the way you transferred items is either one, you had some, a friend in there and you would give them all your stuff and then log out and log in the other character. Or if you didn't have a friend in the game, you could actually throw all your stuff onto the ground and it would stay on the ground for so long before it would disappear and log out and hope to God you can log back in. There's not like a timeout or something. And then run over and pick all the stuff up real quick.
Yeah. In EverQuest, if you died, you had to run back and get your corpse, right?
That's how Shadowbane was as well.
To loot, you get your stuff back because you respawned in with nothing. But the problem was is that guess what? Other people could see your corpse.
Yeah,
and if they got there first, they could loot your corpse.
That's kind of like when we played Valheim. You know,
yeah.
You just
It was
lost all
also
your
very
shit.
funny because you would see people in the zones and you'd get a message in chat, be like, "Has anybody seen my corpse?" Because they wouldn't know how to get back to where they were or whatever. There you go. If you want a real OG experience, that's what you should play. You should play OG EverQuest.
I mean, that trading loot is just like Diablo 2.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because it was like, well, I go into a public server and find a nice little spot to throw all my stuff down and hope nobody finds it before I come back on with the other character, or I get somebody in a private room and I go, you stand right here and watch this and I'll be right back. Throw all the shit on the ground.
There's something about the Diablo loot when it throws out that sound effect. Then the legendary item histogram. Ching. I don't know. I miss the older games and how quirky and difficult they were to play sometimes. I don't know if I like the streamlining. I mean, I do like the idea of fast travel in these games, but I guess that just speaks to we like streamlining when it caters to what we care about. Right?
That's true.
That's what I'm realizing here. So if it fits me, then it's acceptable. I don't know. I really can't tell you why I like classic over retail. I couldn't write it down on paper exactly why, but I just do. So, and I really
feels different.
I would enjoy all the storyline if it was the classic game and it continued through all these storylines. I would really like it. I'd probably play through all of it. And
so I was wrong. It doesn't say, it says some of his stuff, but not all of it. But apparently there is a reader for 14.
Oh, well, good. I mean, maybe I could do that. it is so difficult to read what the hell he's saying.
Yes,
and understand it. I can't understand it.
I skipped some of it because I was just like, I can't understand what. I would just read through it fast, and I think I understand what he's saying, and then move on.
I need like an English translator for him.
Yeah, something. Yeah, his Cockney is strong. I was so happy when I moved away from him to the ninjas, the brother and sister ninjas. I was very happy.
Yeah. And I know why they transition classes. It's because that's a common thing in some of the Final Fantasy games. Not every one of them. But I could have lived without it. I could have been like just a rogue the entire game, or whatever, thief.
Yeah. Well, they only the thing is though is they've learned from that because they only did that during the initial ARR jobs. You never do that again with anything else. You're just that job, and you go.
It's just like that bait and switch. It's like, oh yeah, I really like playing this class, and then all of a sudden, okay, now you're a bard. No, that's not what I signed up for.
He will never let that go.
But you could be a machinist, and
but you could be in a dungeon, Diz, as your bard, whipping out arrows and then playing "Oh What a Feeling." We're dancing on the ceiling while you're hitting the boss.
Have you tried to play those musical instruments?
Yes.
It's challenging. Those guys get some respect for doing that. If they're not using some type of bot to do it.
Yeah, I mean, they're talented. If you can do it, you're talented. 100%. It's difficult.
Chad, I tried to send Diz a tutorial on how to play Thunderstruck in Final Fantasy, but I don't think he ever tried.
I played around with it a little bit. But then, I had to go talk to some cabbage people or something. I don't know.
They make fun of the cactus. They killed our cactus friend.
I would have helped him if it would have let me turn you into salad, turn you into coleslaw.
You bastard. He was innocent. He was just hanging out with Nilphenia, and then boom, they shot him. Actually, she shot him.
It would have been better if it was Jack that they'd shot. So I don't know.
I mean, really, that would have been a cool transition over to Ninja. You had to become a ninja because your rogue trainer got shot. Hey, what's up, Kay? We gotta go to here. Let me get a stabby. Shit,
I have this potion, and I could give it to you, but no. I'm gonna go be a ninja instead.
These guys look way cooler than you, and I can understand them. Oh, go! Don't do it! Oh, go! Oh, cry me! It's black! Oh, God!
And then every so often you have to deal with him as his ghost.
Oh, that would be cool. I like this already.
So I'm seeing a formula for us over the past few episodes of Three Old Men. I think we need a segment for talking about WoW because we tend to like it a lot. We'll transition to that segment, and
I mean,
you know.
I love WoW, so I'm always down to talk about WoW.
So yeah,
he loves WoW the way other people love Lamp.
I love Lamp. These will kill a guy with a trident.
Been needing to talk to you. You may be wanted for murder.
All right. Well, I guess we'll call it there. Maybe next show or the show after that, we can talk about what we want for Christmas on here.
I've already been asked that
letter to
15
Santa
times today.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I don't know. There's so much.
I think what should be in your top 5, at least the top 5, maybe top 3, should be a bottle of Sex Panther.
That would be good.
Oh, if you want to add that to the list. More references to Anchor, man.
I'm number 2. Tifa sex doll.
So you can dress up like Tifa.
Exactly.
Hang out with the Tifa.
Exactly.
All right. Unless you guys got something else you want to broach into here.
Serenity team. God, dude, they killed me with the... Go watch Serenity, chat. Watch Firefly first.
Yes.
Or you'll be lost.
We'll come up with, I guess, a topic for next week or the week after, or we probably won't. So, but we'll be doing it on Thursday, 10:30. Come check us out.
I thought you were about to come up with the top 5 things we would ask for Christmas, because I was about to tell you that that's going to be a very short list for me because I never asked for anything.
Well, that's an easy list to make. Nothing. Nada.
Harley gets so upset with me because she's like, I can never get you anything. Like, I have to go and literally look and go, I think he'll like this. And I was like, You know what stuff I like. She's like, yeah, but you never ask for anything except for, and then she looks at me, she goes, yeah, but I can't ever get you that. And she's like, because nobody's going to give you a new spinal cord. She's like, I can't ask for body parts. She's like, I can't.
That's why the Lord gave us the dark web.
She's like, so I can't. She's like, I don't have black market contacts. She's like, so I can't get you that kind of stuff.
I mean, either the Lord or the Dark Lord. One of the
two. Think it was Obi-Wan Kenobi gave us the dark web.
And I just kind of laughed. But, other than that, like, I really don't.
Hey, Obi-Wan, do you know who came up with the dark web? Of course I do. It was me. I am him.
That sounds more like Bane.
They're kind of close.
They're very close. I think they're from the same place.
You just gotta put your hand over your mouth.
Yes, Bane is Obi-Wan is just normal. Bane is, oh yes, Batman. I know exactly who does. Obi-Wan came up with that. He's my neighbor. We live very close to each other. We have tea every Friday. Well, you should come by sometime and meet him.
Excellent.
This is why you give us $4.99 a month. Some of you, others just come in, and that's fine. We love you too.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do this every Thursday, so you can come back and check us out at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes they're a little shorter episodes. Sometimes they're a little longer. Definitely going to be talking about WoW. So at least at some part during that show. Me and Clem Diesel, we also do a retro game show on Monday nights. Super Retro Game Show Extreme, where we're playing through the Zelda games. We're on Oracle of Ages. We've just finished Oracle of Seasons, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Did not expect how good that game was going to be. But after I applied Logi to it and realized that it was built on the same engine as A Link to the Past, then it made sense. So, Revelations. And other than that, we have some
It's not just a book anymore.
It's not just the Nerdicopia Book of Revelations. The Nerdonomicon.
The Nerdonomicon. There we go. We got a new product now. Everybody go to the store and buy your copy of the Nerdonomicon.
So since we're missing one of the horsemen, which one are you two? Because I'd say I'm War.
What are they? Is famine and plague?
Yeah, famine and pestilence
and death.
Let's see. War, famine, death. And so that's the three, and the fourth one is the Antichrist, right? So I don't think any of us are the Antichrist. So that makes one of us famine and the other death. So which would you like to be?
I'm too fat to be famine.
Okay. I'll be famine.
You can be famine.
You can be
death.
Goes
to lunch and eats one little burrito. I'll be death, because between the three of us, I'll probably die the first. Thank you, Wilford Brimley.
I mean, I would have taken death, but I'm the only one that's seen war, so I had to take war.
True. Speaking of war, we play D&D on the weekends sometimes, and that involves some war, right? War-like tactics.
Nice
segue. Sometimes there's a submarine on some of them. So.
That's true.
That's true.
But this weekend is my D&D, and we played that on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern over here on the Nerdicopia Network. It's called Not Actually Heroes, The Forgotten, where we've forgotten what is going on because we haven't played in so long. So
that's true.
I remember.
Come join us, and we'll figure it out together. Buck will tell us
saving a petrified. We're saving a petrified ferry.
We are. That is the current quest. And a child.
Oh yeah,
and a child.
Petrified. Yep.
And we're saving a little tiny she-gnome.
I'm going to a party.
Yep, you are. You were heading.
There's a party. There's a party. So, come by and check that out. And other than that, Clan, he did a couple of day streams, right? At least one.
I did one. I played like 2 hours of Star Ocean: The Second Story R. I'm going to continue that. So there should be more.
More stars, more oceans, more Clan Diesel. In the Nerdonomicon.
In the Nerdonomicon.
Chapter 47 of the Nerdonomicon from Behind.
Chapter 43 of Nerding from Behind. A sub book of the Nerdonomicon.
All right, that's enough of that. Buck, what you got going on?
Well, tomorrow I have a slight change of plans on my stream. So the
I want to
fun
add to
pimps.
this.
Add to what?
Go ahead, say your thing, and then I want to put out a thing.
So the fun pimps released Alpha 21.2, and I was doing a modded version of 7 Days to Die, which is Age of Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Alpha 21.2 has screwed up every modded version of 7 Days to Die. So every mod author is having to scramble to fix their shit to make everything stable again. That said, I am not able to play what I was going to play. So in my Discord, I have given chat options. So far, the option that's winning is Ark Survival Ascended. The other option is us to go back to vanilla 7 Days to Die and continue on our 106-day journey through vanilla version of 7 Days to Die.
I want to throw out a third option.
What?
Wow.
So I could put that. I could put that on there. However, you're talking about going to classic.
I mean, you can drag us through retail if you want to.
And but are y'all gonna be up and rolling at 11 a.m., which is 12 p.m. y'all's time?
Probably. I just throwing it up there. Look, ASA is leading the voting, so
Yeah, but
I was just throwing it out there.
I didn't put WoW in the list
as a possible third option.
If I altered and put WoW up there, there could be some more people leading in the vote. However, if I were to do that, y'all would have to show up and be there.
True.
Because if y'all didn't show up and I was playing WoW, that means I would be in the process of leveling my goblins.
That sounds like a sex thing.
Right now, it's a sneaky rogue goblin.
Leveling my goblins. Chapter
Leveling
475 of Nerding from Behind.
I mean, it's a sneaky
the second book
goblin,
in the Nerdonomicon series.
But there's a lot to do in ASA. So I can never run out of stuff to do until we beat the Overseer. And then, of course, you know, Monday and Tuesday of next week, I'll be ASA again. And then I don't know if Friday they'll have it up and fixed for the mod packs or not next week. Wednesday, I won't be able to stream because Harley has doctor's appointments that I'll be needed for. And then, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday will be EDAR again. So that is my plans streaming on what's coming up. And of course, next Thursday, hanging out with y'all again. As far as the Friday dual survivor thing, I make no promises because it's already been shot down 3 weeks in a row. So I don't know if that'll happen or not. I'm going to lean towards not.
I mean, we could all just play COD.
Oh,
I'd
they
have to
don't
buy it.
want me. Claim they
too.
don't want me back in that game.
They'll be like, I'm coming. And hell's coming with me.
I'm coming. And death and famine are coming with me.
That's right. That's our screen names now.
Because if I go back into that game, Harley will not like it.
Yeah. Hey Rob Bob, we did talk about Star Ocean. There will be more Star Ocean. I'm just gonna tell you right now, there will be more Star Ocean. Or the Necronomicon. Or the Nerdonomicon.
But I promise you, if I ever jumped back into COD, it would not be on core core playing. It would be hardcore gaming. Because that core stuff's for the birds.
For the burbs.
The burps.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up there for the evening, and swing by and check out Buck's stream tomorrow. Right, gonna be out there tomorrow, starting at noon Eastern, 11 Central. Is that no? Is that how time works?
No Botrix.
No Botrix.
That's the first time in a long time that Botrix hasn't shouted me out.
Killed that son
I don't feel the love.
Yep. Yeah. Now Botrix is only on the green brand.
Yeah.
As it should be.
Dang. I feel left out now. It was supposed to shout me out.
Well, we got Pixel Chat for that.
That's true.
And Stream Elements in chat. Even up there. So I guess that's all we got. Go check out Buck's stream tomorrow.
That's all we got.
We got D&D this weekend.
That's not all we got. So much. He always forgets. It's horrible.
What are you talking about?
Listen, there's other stuff. There be other stuff, and you know it. Also, my dog just farted, so that's great.
What you talking about, Willis?
Your dog doesn't fart? My dog farts.
When you said that's not all, and you know it.
That's not all we got, chat, because guess what? We have a Discord. Go there. Join our Discord. Say hi. Talk to us about stuff. It's a great place to hang out. It's a Discord, yes.
I'm looking this up right now.
Yeah, you should join it. It's fun. Yep, it's there. Maintained daily by a crack group of people. So go there. Hang out. It's fun. Please go there and talk. We'd really appreciate it. But me. I'd really appreciate it. There's a link for our socials on our link tree. Go there. You can find links to everywhere that we are on the interwebs, except for Instagram, because we do have an Instagram, but Diz forgot the password, and I don't know what it is.
The password is.
Now we know. And then of course,
Mike's working again. I guess you didn't hear that, so
I didn't. You broke it. We have a Streamloots cards. If you want to go there and interact with chat a little bit, go there and you can buy cards that make Diz poop his pants because it's scary glass breaking and knocking sounds and stuff.
Slide into our sleuths.
Yep. Also, we have Tangia. There's free Tangias that you can use with your channel points. You can go there and play around with those. They're in the channel point section of your screen. And then we also have where you can redeem different ones for bits. Go down there, find one you like, search for one. Buy them. I think they're all just like 50 bits. So not a lot. Go there, try it out.
You didn't give me that time.
Really likes it. As you can see, everybody, I mean us. We love it. And then of course we have merch. It's all Super Retro Game Show Extreme merch right now. But we do have merch. You can get sweatpants because it's getting colder. You can get sweatpants. You can get hoodies. There's 2D2 running across the screen. That's great. So definitely go there. And I think that's all that we have now.
Oh, yeah, you forgot. Coming soon to the Nerdicopia store, the Thanksgiving thong collection.
Real question is this.
That's true.
Was all this legal? Absolutely not.
That's true. None of 3 Old Men is legal. That is true.
All right, so I guess run these kids off our yard, and we'll get back to enjoying what's left of Thanksgiving. Oh, Thanksgiving's over. Oh my gosh,
Thanksgiving's over. It's now we are now firmly after Thanksgiving.
Not for this guy.
Oh, the time traveler over there.
Oh, there you go. That's true. You still got 12 minutes of Thanksgiving left.
I got 12 minutes.
There you go. Go grab a turkey leg. All right, here we go.
Oh, that was so bad. Your mic cut you out so bad.
Yeah, we're gonna look at that. See you guys next time.
See ya.
Thank you.